Hello, Chrissy here. That's short for Crystal. I say that because I hadn't heard from Graham, the person I was going out from Beaver Street, for a very, very long time, until I was in the library last week when he wanted to go somewhere. Um, Yesterday, while I was around my parents' flat, because I went up to my parents for lunch yesterday, um, Graham texted that he'd like to meet me Wednesday, but he hasn't got a lot of time, so it'll probably be about 4. Um, I've had this with Graham loads of times, and when it comes to going out, he doesn't turn up. He says, "Oh, darn it, something's come up," so I don't take it seriously. It won't bother me if he doesn't turn up, and I'm not going to stay stuck indoors miserable like I did with what he did to me on one of my birthdays. He turned up on the doorstep, said he'd been to an osteopath in Gillingham. This was my birthday about 2 years ago. So he'd been to an osteopath in Gillingham, and he stopped off at my flat to give me an Indian microwave meal and 2 pints of milk. And I'd got dressed up, not to go out with him. I was going to go out to town and get myself some birthday cake or something and celebrate with myself and my cats. And for some reason, after he left, I felt miserable, and I stayed indoors all day on my birthday, eating this sad Indian microwave meal with this 2 pints of milk. And I'd actually asked him to get me that. It wasn't a present. I got a card, and he buggered off. So I don't take anything like that, but he obviously texted me round my parents, and my dad said my dad was getting annoyed and said stop using the mobile. They're telling people not to use mobile phones in Morrison's because it's like rude, so I stopped using my phone. Quite rightly so. My dad got annoyed by me using my phone around his place, so I put it away. I went out to the library Sunday, the 16th, which was yesterday, before I went to my mum and dad's to upload videos and my bits. But people came in saying things were missing. One person said, "Have you seen a bag?" And another thing I noticed, my son came into my flat with a blue mobile phone a few days ago. Mine's green at the back. And there was a small blonde man called Steve sat at computer by the doors, and he was obviously someone that rang around asking people for work. He was like offering his services to people, so I didn't sit next to him. This small lady who comes in every morning with a cup of coffee sat next to him, but it must have been irritating. "Hello, Steve here from so-and-so extractions. I'm just ringing around to give you a quote." So he was on and off ringing his business in the library. And he was given his mobile number. He said his name was Steve. He was a little blonde guy with what looked like my son's phone, and he was on Marlowe's Electrics. So I found that a bit annoying, and but I stayed. But I didn't actually use a computer yesterday and log into one or use my library card. I just used my phone. So from the library I came back to check on my cats, make sure they were okay, because 2 MHS vans had driven up the path before I left to go to the library and get some food for them and some drinks, etc. And I walked up to my parents, which is a long walk in this heat. Got there, my mum answered the door in bare feet. my dad was sat down and the smoke alarm batteries had gone, so every 2 minutes, beep, beep, beep. And you know how much that is annoying when a smoke alarm is just going off every 2 minutes, and especially when you're in a bit of pain as well. And I'd happened to be watching Rain Man the night before I went up to my parents, and he screamed when the smoke alarm went off. He went ballistic because in Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman plays an autistic guy. But I just ignored that. I did offer to change the battery, but Dad said no, it didn't matter. And there was smells, and later on Mum gave me £2 to get me and Dad an ice cream from the ice cream man. And for the past 2 times that I've been out to the ice cream man, he's been rude to me, and there's been quite, like, I don't ever want to go and get an ice cream again. Because I think it was meant for my mother to go out and get the ice creams, to be honest, and I felt humiliated and upset. Mum hadn't given me the right money for an ice cream with a flake, which is called 99. There was a bald man at the ice cream van first to get in 2.99s. But Mum hadn't given me enough money to get 2.99s, so the ice cream man looked at me, "What do you want?" And I said 2.99s, so I gave him £2, because I didn't know at the time they were £1.50. And the little man went to the side, and then he said, "Oh wait, I'll serve this man first." So the bald guy got 2.99s, and he went, "You want 2 ice creams, do you?" And I got 2 ice creams with no 99 pences in, and he handed me the ice creams, and there was this redhead behind me. She had problems like Beverly, learning difficulties. "I get an ice cream for my dog," she said. I said, "Are you?" because I'm polite and nice. She went, "Yeah, I'm sick of the fires over there though." So I said, "Oh, is there being fires?" She went, "Yeah, and I'm sick of it." Right, and then I went to talk to her. She turned her head and went to get an ice cream. She was like in a nightdress and bed socks. Took the ice creams back to my mum and dad, and the ice cream man had really caused an argument because he'd upset me with his attitude. And that girl, got ice cream from my dog. So I went back to my mum and dad's, and we all had a bit of an argument. Because I said, it's a bit cruel, and Dad said it is. He said, "Jennifer, you really should have given Janestra the right amount of money, because it made her look an idiot." And then there's a dog. Dad's got the French windows open, and he sat by them, not me. And then this bloody great white dog goes leaping across near the French windows. "Buster! Buster!" And then this redhead, she's got missing bottom teeth, "Buster!" comes running out of nowhere to get the dog, which is quite nasty if you're elderly and get the fright of your life. I'd never seen her before, and my sister's daughter Charlotte has got red hair. I'm not taking the mickey, but that is how she spoke, and she came across as quite nasty and a bit aggressive, and she obviously was in charge of a dog that she couldn't look after, which was quite frightening for me. I don't know about Mum and Dad. Dad didn't shut the door afterwards. But so there was that, and then I watched a film with my parents called Remember, about Nazi Germany and the Holocaust, which was quite frightening because an Alsatian dog got shot, and a man got shot in the head. A man that looked like my ex-husband and was saying "good girl" to his dog. So I was a bit scary yesterday, to say the least. The taxi driver was okay. He didn't make any major mistakes or endanger my life. But coming up Old Road, there was a huge black like the pussy wagon in Kill Bill but black. This massive black van type thing was going into a garage as he was driving up the path, and like cars in the way, but he was a very good driver. He drove me up to the path, and that, you know, that was great. £6.20 usual price. And then I came indoors, there was a couple of letters on the floor, my cats were okay, which was the main thing. And then about 10 minutes getting into the flat, John, my ex's mate from Manchester, was out there with a group of blokes doing this in several blokes' hands, with mobile phones, just staring that way. Mobile phones is when my taxi had come up the path. And then I came indoors, was really, really sore, quite annoyed, and spent the rest of the evening by myself. And this morning, my son called me first thing. But luckily, I just got out of bed, to tell me that he's got a week off work, and that he might take me, his mother, out somewhere to the cinema or something like that, and could I help him pay for his bus pass this week. And so I will struggle on, because in this hot weather you don't need much money and you mainly drink, and my mum has kindly given me some cans of Schweppes lemonade, some Moo organic semi-skim milk, bread, Lucozade, and she kindly gave me the top I put on this morning.